very much. Hello and welcome to the show. How good is this? Yeah! Not bad, not too bad. I tell you what, all I ever wanted to do growing up was play footy for the mighty Saints. But I was... Oh, they're a pretty good side. They'll win it shortly. But I tell you what, I was too short and I was too slow. But I was lucky enough to be part of the most successful era of Australian cricket ever. Yeah! But I can tell you, I've never been this nervous. I'm sure everyone has been thinking, what's this show about? Well, we're going to bring you some pretty relaxed chats with some of the most interesting names in the world of entertainment, sport and business. We'll also try and put a smile on your face and have a bit of fun along the way. Here's some of what's on tonight's show. I sit down with James Packer for his first one-on-one interview in nearly 20 years.
Every son and father has ups and downs.
Coldplay's main man, Chris Martin, invites us into his private recording sanctuary and shows us a side to him I guarantee you've never seen before.
And that's the kind of question I was going to walk out.
What? Straight away?
Let's just finish.
It's over. The great Merv Hughes is part of the Warnie team and joins us live in the studio. And for the first time ever, we bring some of the classic 12th man moments to life.
All right, now, the pronunciation of the Pakistan players' names. It's been f***ing atrocious all season. And today, we are going to get it right.
And Big Sam Kekovich, he closes our show in his own special way.
Is Australia better than England? Of course it is.
OK, there's been lots of hype about James Packer. Lots of you have read and heard plenty about him. James and I have been mates for a long time, and tonight, we show you a side to him that's very rarely seen. If there was anyone in the country who was destined to fill big shoes, it's James Packer. Third generation of the legendary media dynasty and born as the son of Australia's richest man. But life hasn't always been beer and Skittles. There's been plenty who wanted to see him fail, but after dealing with the death of his father and the global financial crisis, he's now adding to his billion-dollar casino investments. He's happy, a recent dad and one of my close friends. And I was more shocked than anyone when he agreed to sit down and have a chat. Well, James, really appreciate you being on the first show. It's been, I think, a long time in between drinks, 15, 20 years.
Yeah.
Why so long? What was the last interview you did?
You haven't been around on air, and I haven't been that keen to do more TV interviews, but when you asked, how could someone say no?
Oh, well, thank you. It's just because we've got a wonderful relationship.
Well, no, it's because you got me when we were out late at night one time, but it was one of those situations that was impossible to say no. It's an honour for me to be on your show.
Well, we really appreciate having you on the first show too.
It's an honour for me. It's an honour for me.
Why so long though? You didn't like doing them, or?
I think, you know, I've got no great desire to seek any more publicity than it seems to come along naturally. So, for me, appearing on television has never been a big priority.
OK. Now, what about cricket? Growing up, it must have been unbelievable to see your father, Kerry, change the face of cricket forever. It must have been a pretty interesting time.
It was amazing. I mean, you know, my dad was an extraordinary guy and he did many, many extraordinary things, but I think in many ways what he did to cricket probably has the biggest lasting impact of all the amazing things that he did. So it was an amazing time, something that I was, you know, so lucky to be a young kid and to be able to have some access and go along and meet these heroes that, you know, were my heroes, like they were, you know, all kids' heroes. And so it was a fantastic, amazing time and a great credit to my old man.
Well, all of us cricketers in the current day and every cricketer that's been since World Series cricket owes your father everything that we've got. There wouldn't have been any cricket the way it is now if it wasn't for him.
Well, I think that's, you know, that's a really generous thing.
No, it's true.
For you to say. And he loved cricketers, he loved athletes, he loved sportsmen. It was, you know, they were people, in truth, that he probably you know, cared for most, and Warnie, I don't have to say this, but you were probably his favourite. He thought the world of you, as so many people do.
No, I appreciate that. Now, there's a lot of legends and rumours about when you were in the... Did you go in the nets? Did you face one of the first ever bowling machines?
No.
Because you were an opening batsman.
No, I was a bad opening batsman, and you promised not to talk about this, but I was a bad opening batsman. And so, you know, I got to face some bowling machines and things like that, but never faced any of the good guys in the nets. Okay, so always dreamed about facing you, Warnie.
Well, you'd smack me for sure.
The Zooter, I reckon I could have handled the Zooter. Not sure about the Zinger. But the Zooter, I reckon I was all right for the Zooter.
Yeah, you might have handled that one all right. I reckon the wrong and you would have easy because I never
No,
bowled
you
that
never
one
bowled the
much.
wrong.
Exactly
You never
right.
bowled the wrong.
So you'd never be looking for it like some would.
Yeah, exactly. What was the difference between the mystery ball, the Zooter, and the Zinger?
Nothing. They all went straight, but I just had different names for them. It's a
Different
new ball.
summers, different
exactly
summers.
Right. It was a bit like same dog, different leg action, but. Okay, well, also just we'll stay on the child a little bit longer. Once you finished school, there was no university. Straight up to the Northern Territory, Jackaroo, is that right?
Yeah.
That must have been interesting.
It was a fascinating time. I was so lucky to have done it. Dad sort of said to me that I had, which was true, an incredibly privileged, lucky upbringing. So for a period of time, he wanted me to do something a bit harder. So it was between a salt mine. At one stage, he was going to send me to a salt mine, but he ended up. I think I got lucky again. I got lucky again. So I went to the Northern Territory for a year, and it was Jackaroo, and it was a very special time. Fantastic, great part of the world.
What did you learn? Did you learn anything out of being a Jackaroo?
I learnt. There was one time. There was one time that if you're a Jackaroo, you went to bed. You basically worked all day and got up before dawn, and then there's not much to do. Pretty isolated, and so you'd work through the day. And I remember this one time, and it was a bit of a learner's trick. The things you look back on and smile. And so I went to bed, and then it seemed like a short sleep. So bell rings, and everyone gets up for breakfast. So I thought, oh gee whiz, that went quick that night. That was a quick sleep. So anyway, so I got dressed, put the socks on, and then everyone's laughing around the campfire. And they said, "You're asleep for half an hour, you idiot. Go back to bed." So I learnt to check my watch before I got up in the morning.
Very good, very good. Well, you talk about having a privileged childhood and being very lucky, but it also must have been tough at times too. Kerry must have been pretty hard on you at times.
I think my dad was really conscious of, it is a, the world doesn't owe anyone a living, or it doesn't owe anyone a favour, and I think my dad, tried to instill in me, and I'm so glad that he did, the reality that the world doesn't owe you a living, and I am the luckiest guy in Australia to have been my father's son, and I think if you ever have a bad day, if I ever have a bad day, it's very important to remember how lucky you are, and there are people out there having much worse days. There are people out there whose best days are worse than my worst days. So I think, keeping things in perspective is really important.
No, it's a good outlook. Do you miss your dad?
Yeah, I do. I did. He was a larger-than-life character, and I have nothing but great thoughts about him and gratitude, and I thank him every day for being the father he was, and I really, every son and father has ups and downs, but I think one of the great joys that I have in my life is that my father and I ended in the best spot we, almost ever were, and I think that that's a huge blessing. And I think and that happened because, he made sure it happened. So, like everything, or like so many things in his life, he dotted the I's and crossed the T's.
Yeah, we all miss him, mate. I'm sure you more than everybody else.
Thank
you. When you have that sort of life and upbringing and things like that, did you ever sit there and think, you know what, I wish I was just a plumber for a day, or I wish I could just drive a truck and deliver beds or deliver pizzas?
To be honest, not a lot. I think I'm so. A few times I say I wish I was you. I think that's who we all wish we were you, Warnie. We all wish we were you. I'm very happy. If I can't be you, I'm happy being me.
Okay, very good. Now you've met Erica, married a lovely wife, Erica. You've got now Indigo and Jackson.
Yep.
Has it changed your outlook on business and life, having children? What's it like being a dad?
Well, I think you've got your three, Brooke, Summer, and Jackson, and I think everyone who's lucky enough to have kids just knows that it does change everything. And I think if you're having a bad day and you get home, in my case, my daughter's 27 months and my son's 9 months, and I get home and I see them smile, and it just is, it's everything.
It is, and especially when they come up and daddy, 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 give you a cuddle and that. It's pretty special. So,
Yeah.
having said that, how much we love our children.
Yeah.
You
I'm
must
nervous.
be. You
I'm
must.
nervous.
No, you must be like me then.
Yeah, that's
And
good.
change nappies.
Of
You must
course,
have changed one.
Of course.
Technique? Did you fold?
Like your technique, Warnie. Like yours. To fold a bit here, out of the back of the hand.
Right, OK. So you enjoy that side of being a parent?
I'm not as good at that as I should be, but I think everything about being a parent is fantastic.
Very good. Now,
Everything.
Now, the generations of Packer women are still around. Is there any chance you make a decision at home?
I'm less assertive than you are.
Right.
No, my mum is amazing, and she's a great lady. My sister, my wife. I've got you know, and leaving aside my kids, but my wife, my mum, and my sister are probably the three closest people to me, and leaving aside my kids. So, and they're fantastic. They are wonderful people, and I'm very lucky to have them in my life.
So basically, you'd never make a decision at home,
Never,
then, do you? You're under
never,
the thumb,
never,
you don't wear the
never,
pants.
never,
So
never.
in the business world, you're
Do
the
what I'm
boss?
No, not even there.
Yes, you are. But at home, no, yes, yes, Erica, yes, Cradle, yep, OK. And you like being back in the TV business?
What?
You know, you're on, the boss of Channel 10 on Channel 9. How does that work?
Warnie, it was a late night, and you're one of my dearest friends, and another one of my dearest friends happens to run Channel 9, and so I find myself here. I don't know quite how I find myself here, but I find myself here. I'm looking for the door.
Got to ask you, Tom Cruise, he's a friend of yours?
Yep.
And The Last Samurai, did you have a starring role or a bit of a small part role in that?
I I wouldn't call it a starring role. That'd be a stretch. But he is, and you talk about the media, and I think all of us, if we had the benefit of 20/20 hindsight, would probably do one or two things in our lives differently.
Definitely, 100%.
All I can say is he has been such a good friend to me, and he's one of the nicest people I've ever met, and one of the best people I've ever met. And one day he asked me to be an extra in one of his movies, so I was an extra in one of his movies. He hasn't asked me since then. I was sort of, I don't think I must have done too well, because I was waiting for the phone to ring, Plenty of extras in these movies. I would have thought there'd be a spot.
Well, you probably would have been one of the biggest and stiffest ninjas of all time, wouldn't you?
I was one of the... They didn't really find it too easy in makeup to find the right size samurai. So thanks for that, Warnie.
Look, I wouldn't fit into one too well either,
I need a few diuretics for a couple of...
Yes, OK. Next question. Thanks very much, James. Boom, boom. Now, to finish with, James, I've got 6 spinning questions I'm going to ask you.
OK.
You have to tell me the first thing that comes into your mind. You've got to play them well.
OK.
You said before you'd play the Zutter in that
Zutter.
well. Well, let's see how you're going to play the
Zutter.
flipper and a few other little around the wickets, OK? If you could beat anyone else for a day, who would it be?
Roger Federer.
Roger Federer. Ah, good one. Best piece of advice you've ever been given?
Never explain, never complain.
OK. You're at a karaoke bar and a song comes on. What can't you resist singing? Like we were the other night, maybe Sweet Child of Mine?
No, Jay-Z, New York State of Mind.
Oh,
good.
Yeah, good song.
Good.
You're a car man like myself.
Yeah.
What was your first car? And I know what the answer is.
My first car was a Morris Minor.
A Morris Minor?
Morris Minor.
OK, all right. Red or black?
Black.
17.
Happy.
OK. Australia is great because?
It's got the best people in the world.
James Packer, thank you very much for being on Warnie, the first show. We really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks for your time,
Appreciate
mate.
it, mate.
Cheers, James. How good was that? James Packer, he's an absolute beauty. He's a dear friend, and we really do appreciate him giving us the time and coming on our first show. So, many of us have spent the summers listening to Billy Birmingham's 12th Man recordings, even if you're not a cricket lover. What we've done is bring some of the classic 12th Man commentary moments to life in a unique and very funny way. First one tonight sees Richie giving the boys a lesson in how to get those tricky Pakistan names right. It's bloody hilarious.
All right, now, the pronunciation of the Pakistan players' names. It's been atrocious all season. And today, we are going to get it right. Now, I'm going to run through this team from top to bottom, and I'm going to say the names, and then I want you all to repeat them together nice and loud and nice and clear, OK?
Yes, OK, Richie.
All right, yes, OK, Richie. All right, then. Javed Jamaat for me and Dad. Nice and loud now. Was him ran a mad router? What do you mean, was he?
What do you mean, was he? Oh, shit.
Come on, Bill, concentrate now. Ask if he'd give a shit.
Ask if he'd give a shit.
I'd say he'd give a shit.
I'd say he'd give a shit.
That's good. That's pretty good. Amir Sahale.
Hail, Richie. Hail the great man. Hail.
No, Bill, that's his name, you dickhead.
Sorry. Come on,
Concentrate now.
Gee, fair suck of the old slip scored.
Rather stupid, Bill.
Oh, gee, come on, it's not my bloody fault. These bloody Pakistani names are just ridiculous. Some of them sound like questions, some of them sound like swear words. They're just too bloody hard to pronounce.
Yeah, they bloody are.
We're going to have to agree on a sensible form of these fellas' names at the start of the season.
Yeah, Bill's right.
Use a bloody
Bill's
nickname
right.
if you have to. But I'm telling you what, it's
Not a
just
bad idea.
ridiculous expecting a man to analyse the game and commentate as well as analyse 3/4 of the alphabet and try and get a bloody name out of it.
Yep.
It's just ludicrous.
It's bloody true, Bolt. It's bloody true. What do you fellas
Well,
think?
Yeah, OK, fellas. Look, I'll have a yarn with the ACB about it. But for the moment, can we get on with the job at hand, please?
Yeah,
All right, now listen carefully. I keep my teeth in a jar beside the bed.
I keep my teeth in a jar beside the bed.
Never been behind bars.
Never been behind bars.
Was he a crim?
Was he a crim?
That's good. That's pretty good.
Oh, sensational. Well, we're going to bring you a lot more of Billy Birmingham and the 12th man over the next few weeks. OK, before we take our first break, when I was in London a week or so ago, I bumped into former English fast bowler Darren Goff. Well, he was probably medium pace, but he never took a backward step and always fancied himself against the Aussies. Well, nothing seems to have changed.
Tell you what, I might be 40, mate, but no one comes in without an helmet against me. I'm going to knock your head off, as usual.
Mate, knock my head off. Are you serious?
The rhino's ready.
You got nothing. I'm ready. Oh, where's he going? Excuse me, buddy. Hey, we need our ball back. Please.
Come on, mate, I'm English. I need the ball back. He's Aussie, I know that. And he's used to these bars, but I don't want the ball back.
We can't start the Ashes until we get it back.
Here it comes, Chef. Here it comes. Oh.
Thanks, man.
Cheers, man.
Okay.
Enough of you two. You're out of here.
Trouble.
Come on in.
I'm Danny. Look forward to seeing you on Warnie coming soon.
Hey Warnie, it's Pink here. I hope your show's going awesomely fantastic. Wish I could be with you, but I can't, so all my love.
Thank you very much, Pink, and soon to be a mum too, so it might change your life, but good luck with all that. We all love your tunes, and my kids love her too. But this next lady will be a permanent fixture here on the show. You might know her from the Today Show and National 9 News, but I really wanted her on this show because she supports the mighty Saints. Alicia Gorey. The Saints, how did you get to support them, the mighty Saints?
Well, I've got to blame my dad. But, you know, I knew that supporting St Kilda would get me somewhere one day. And look, I'm on the Warnie show.
Well, we can't win a premiership, but...
No, we've come close, 2 years, very close this year. But an enduring love, that one.
And you're a sports nut too. You love all sports?
Love my sport and blame Dad for that again. Lots of backyard cricket and... played a lot of tennis. That was my sport of choice when I was playing. But one of my earliest memories, Dad took us to a lot of sporting events and was actually the '92 World Cup final. And I spent the whole time doing this at the Barmy Army, and Dad kept saying, "Watch the cricket, watch the cricket."
They can be funny.
Very funny. Singing in the Rain was one of my favourite songs that day.
Yeah.
So very lucky indeed to go to a lot of sport and play a lot of sport growing up.
Yeah, well, that's a good song. I used to have, for me, a few, but there was something like He's blonde, he's bent, he's up for rent. Jane Warne. Then they used to come out with a 10 men went to bed with 9 men, 8 men, 7. So anyway, they're very original.
And they're here. Thank goodness they're here.
Yes, they're here, and I'm sure they're going to give a lot of entertainment to the cricket with the Ashes starting tomorrow. What about the Alicia Gorey journey? Where did you start? How did you
Gorey
get here?
story. Well, I started working for Triple J.
Yep.
And they sent me over to Perth, and I spent 5 years over there and almost became a sand groper, but then came back to Melbourne, spent a couple of years here working for 9 News, and now I find myself in Sydney, working at the opposite end of the day to the Today Show, so getting up at 3 a.m. usually.
Slept through the alarm?
Never.
Never?
Touch wood. Now that you say that, I'm going to have 3 alarms set for tomorrow. So watch tomorrow, because if I'm not on, then you'll know that I've slept through the alarm.
Well, you've been out and about doing some great stuff for the show, and later tonight you'll bring us the late mail on the Ashes. But what have you got up for us tonight?
Well, Shane, first of all, I've been catching up with some of the past and present stars of cricket and putting them through what we like to call here the spin cycle. And the first to have a go was cult hero Dougie Bollinger.
I went down to the crossroads, tried to flag it out.
Oh dear, has he weathered the pressure? No, he has not. There's a hat-trick.
Dougie Bollinger, thanks for agreeing to be put through the spin cycle.
No trouble, thanks for having me.
Who do you hate playing against most?
Who do I hate playing against most? Probably Sachin Tendulkar. I've got him out a couple of times, but he's such a good player.
Have you got a favourite joke? A go-to joke?
I've got a couple of horrible ones. There's 2 fish in a tank, and one says to the other, "Do you know how to drive this thing?"
It's good that you can laugh at your own jokes.
Because it's stupid.
If you're a superhero, what would be the one special power?
Invisibility, definitely. Invisibility. I'd have to be invisible.
Who would play you if there was a movie on your life?
Brad Pitt. Yeah. You know how he looked in Fight Club? Yeah, I think that's probably, yeah.
Have you ever had a hairdressing disaster?
Since I was 18 to 27, I reckon.
That wasn't written with you in mind.
No, it wasn't. That was probably
happened?
it. I just didn't have any.
Oh, there. But now...
But now I'm humming, but thanks for bringing that up.
Who would you hate to sit next to on a plane most?
I reckon I've sat next to Mike Hussey a lot. And he just talks and talks and talks and talks and talks, and everything's about cricket.
Would you ever make a love song dedication, and if so, what would it be?
That'd be probably Horses by Daryl Braithwaite.
Oh, that's good.
Go riding on the horses. Yeah. It's so cheesy, but I love it.
You left him hanging out there.
Yeah, I know, but I wanted you to fit in with me. God. What do you get when you cross a sheep and a kangaroo? A woolly jumper.
Dougie Bollinger, thank you so much for agreeing to be put through the spin cycle.
Thank you very, very much for having me.
Great stuff, Alicia. Well, we've worked out that Dougie Bollinger, he can't sing, and he's got very ordinary humour. It's lucky he can bowl good left arm.
It is very lucky. A little bit stiff, Dougie, to be missing out at the Gabba. He's such a champion.
Yeah, he's...
I promised we wouldn't make any more jokes about the hair.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Sorry, Doug. Well, yeah, he probably is a little bit stiff, actually, because the Poms struggle a little bit with the left armers, especially Andrew Strauss. But I'm sure we're going to see a lot of Doug through the summer.
Hope so. Absolute champion.
Yeah, he is a champion. Why don't you stick around and keep me company? You happy to do that?
Love to.
OK, cool. Now, I think you're going to enjoy this, Alicia, as I think everybody will. I first met this guy, Chris Martin, 10 years ago in an elevator in London, and we've become great mates. We keep in touch all the time. He's a really good fella. But he's also very quirky, he's out there, and extremely lovable. Sit back, buckle yourself in, and enjoy this ride. Chris Martin is the ultimate performer. Every night he steps onto the stage, thousands are transfixed. As the lead singer of Coldplay, one of the biggest rock bands on the planet, Chris has become one of the most recognisable faces and most sought-after voices in the world. His band has sold over 50 million records worldwide and won 28 music awards, including 7 Grammys. We got unprecedented access to Coldplay's private recording studio in London, where they are currently putting the finishing touches on their 5th album. To have a chat with my good mate, Chris Martin. Well, Chris, thank you very much for joining us.
Pleasure to meet you. How you doing?
Yeah, no, first time. To let us in the inner sanctum here of your own studio in London is pretty cool. So we know you're under the pump. We know you're doing so many wonderful things. So we appreciate the time.
It's a pleasure.
Now, you know the Ashes on in Australia at the moment.
Right.
How badly do you think England are going to lose?
Man, that's the kind of question I was going to walk out.
What? Straight away?
Let's just finish.
It's over.
How can I?
Come on, you must
carry
have
on
some sort of... It's finished now, then. That's it? Have I upset you that badly?
Pretty badly.
Really?
Let's see if you can bring it back in the next question.
OK. What about... OK, you love cricket.
Well...
No, you do. You like cricket. You do. You like cricket.
I like you.
OK, thank you. You like cricket. Your dad has a big cricket game once a year. Do you participate in that?
Sometimes. I'll be honest with you, Shane. I don't like the part of my brain that likes cricket. So I like cricket, but I don't like that I like it. Do you see what I'm saying?
It's sort of, so it's a bit like Darth Vader, or...?
Exactly.
OK, so I got it. So it's not like Luke Skywalker.
No.
It's definitely Darth Vader. Princess
It's more of a
Leia,
sort of part of me which I wish I could... You know, especially if I'm asked to play it, which I don't do very often at all.
Right.
I play it like once every 2 years for one day, and every time after the day's finished, I feel sort of ill.
So do you bowl or anything? Do you participate in anything?
I don't want to talk about that.
No, come on, you must do something. Come on, go. Do you run off a long run, push off the sight screen?
I'm just an idiot. I'm a bad enough person as it is, but...
No, you're not.
I promise, but I find that cricket brings out of me a side of my personality which I really don't get on with. I just find that I behave like a tosser. And I don't like it.
All right. OK, so...
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I got it. Let's...
So will England win the Ashes? I hope everybody has fun.
It's fun, yeah. So was any other sport... Forget about cricket, then. What about any other sport as a kid?
So I do... my point is to you that I do like cricket.
You do?
But I'm only telling you that in private.
So no one's watching anyway, so don't worry, no one's watching.
That's what I'm hoping.
Any other sport? Anything else as a kid?
Like I said, I like all sports. I think a lot of musicians have a lot of... Well, I suppose we travel so much that we watch a lot of it in hotel rooms and stuff. So I love soccer, I love NFL, I love baseball.
Yeah.
I really love surfing.
Yeah?
Do
you surf?
Yeah, but no, I do like that
now,
side.
Does that bring out Darth
No, that
Vader
brings
as well?
out the other side. I'm not a very good surfer at all, but I really love it.
Can you stand up?
Yeah, I can stand up, yeah.
Can you?
Not on the board,
board
just
in
on
the
the
face?
beach.
Did it say wetsuit?
Yep, I know the words.
OK. So, I'm just trying to pretend I know something about surfing as well. OK, so what's favourite surfboard?
The bigger one.
OK, what is that, Malibu?
I do it all over the world. No, yeah, a longboard.
Right, is that
you know what you see the big fat old men use?
Yes.
That's me.
So you're saying I'm a big fat old man? That's what
I'm
I
not
should
saying
use?
you're old.
So you're saying I'm big and fat. Are you sledging me? I know the Ashes is on, but come on.
See what I'm saying? Even talking
straight
to someone
away,
who plays cricket. I can't do this anymore.
Right, OK, let's get away from all that
Commercial.
stuff. Commercial break? OK.
Is this just have commercials on Channel 9?
Yes.
OK.
We have wonderful commercials.
Tim Tams?
Yes. You like Tim Tams?
Well, if I say I do, I might get some.
We can organise some Tim Tams.
Remember we had some Tim Tams, I remember that. All right, next question, sorry.
OK, what about, like, for me, Australian rules football, that's all I ever wanted to do as a kid.
I know.
Right, yeah,
so your life, in a sense, has been a failure.
It has. But so I actually found cricket, right? So cricket found me, and that ended up being my life. Your life's music. It is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is music. So when did music find you?
My family and music, and that's it.
So when did that find you? When did music get... when did you get the bug?
Age about 7.
Right. How?
We had a teacher who came to our... I went to a private school in the west of England, which was very sort of smart and...
Did you have to wear a hat as well?
No.
No? You didn't have to wear a hat?
I wasn't going bald then. No, I'm joking. But...
tie?
Yeah, tie. Oh. And so the point was that the music was very classical and very sort of strict. And then, so I didn't really feel involved. And then this sweet guy called Steve Tanner came and he said, oh, everybody can play music. And so myself and my 2 friends, he gave us this little keyboard and said, just write some music.
Wow.
We said, OK.
And you did?
And I've just found, I don't know why, but every day since then till now, that's what I do.
So you find it easy to write a song?
I find it easy to write a song. I don't find it easy to write a good song.
Ah. Are you one of those routine men? You say, right, I'm going to go away, I'm going to lock myself away, I'm going to go and write some music, I have to write some music? Or can you be anywhere and suddenly something hits you and you go, I need a pen and paper? Or
I have my phone.
Dictaphone?
In my phone.
OK.
So I saw many in the trains and...
OK. You wouldn't want to lose the phone, you know.
Sometimes if I'm like, I don't know, running or something, that's hard. Then maybe I might stop and phone myself and leave it on the message.
Ah, very good.
And then get home and get excited because I got a message and then remember that it was me and then get depressed. And then write another song. So it's just all songs.
Seriously, I promise you, seriously, this bloke, he's such a good fella. How good's this?
I can see it why Gwyneth is there, you know.
Oh, can you?
Can you see it?
Is it, you know, something...
Well,
it's all about the chat, isn't it?
Yeah, he's got charm. Rock star with charm. Can't go past that, Shane.
Lead singer of a band and charm.
Yeah, they've both done very well.
Ah, yes, OK. Well, we'll have more from Chris in part 2 of my chat with him after this break. But before that, we're going to see a lot more of this next bloke over the series. He's been an England cricket captain. He's been a coach, pretty ordinary too. Umpire, he wasn't any good at that either. And now he's a commentator. He's a bloody legend. He's one of the funniest blokes you'll ever meet, and he's never short of a good story. He's got a special one for us tonight. Here's David Bumble Lloyd.
I live in Manchester now in England. Great place, a little bit raw. A friend of mine was a comedian years and years ago when it used to be Variety. And he was on at the Hardwick Apollo, which is a bit like Bankstown on a good day. Trust me. Hardwick Apollo in Manchester is not a place for the faint-hearted. There's a novelty act on, and the novelty act is a fella who comes into the stage and he's boxing a kangaroo. He has a boxing kangaroo. He's got this kangaroo, it's in a cage at the back of the Hardwick Apollo Theatre, and he's got red shorts on, boxing shorts, and a pair of boxing gloves on. He gets the call that he's on in 5 minutes. So he goes out the back to bring the kangaroo in, it's gone. There's no kangaroo, it's gone. And they've rung the police and said, I'm the novelty act at Hardwick Apollo Theatre and I've gone to pick my kangaroo. He said, I boxed this kangaroo on stage. Keep it in a cage, it's gone, it's not there. The policeman says, can you give me a description? He said, there's a f***ing kangaroo running round Hardwick with boxing gloves on.
Welcome back, welcome back. You want to see a bit more of Chris?
I would love to.
I think we all would. He's pretty cool. Actually, just quickly, have you got a favourite Coldplay song? Mine's The Scientist.
Well, I can't go past Yellow. I know that that's the popular favourite, but I love it.
Yep, OK.
Love that song.
Well, part 2 gets even better, and you know what? It even gets a bit weirder. What about, for instance, you're driving in your car?
Yeah.
You drive in the car? So you're driving along
occasionally.
The road. Yeah, so you just say we're on a weekend.
It's metaphorical.
Yeah, we're just saying, hypothetically, you're driving in your car, right? You're driving around the block, having a look at some houses or doing whatever, just clearing your mind.
Yeah.
And one of your songs come on the radio.
Off.
Do you change it? You don't sing? That's good.
Well, how often do you go on YouTube and look at great moments of Shane Warne?
No, OK, I don't. But you're right. All I'm saying
how often,
is...
seriously, though?
Oh, every day.
Every day,
just
that's
look at myself, you know, just to remind me that, you know, I used to be able to bowl a bit.
Yeah.
Because I'm getting old.
What was the secret? What is it?
Secret of?
Now it's all said and done. But you haven't finished yet, though, have you?
No, it's still playing a little bit.
Yeah.
Right, so let's get back to the car.
But because you never had to sort of run very fast, why do you have to stop at all?
Step and fetch it, so you just walk. I could still play. Do you think I should make a comeback?
Well, I'm not saying this is going badly, but...
Maybe. Maybe I can play the harmonica.
Well, we've done that. I know you've
we've done that
professionally.
Apple and Moses.
Yeah.
Wonderful children. Your writing, has having children changed the way you look at writing songs? Has that changed your outlook or anything?
No, I think it's made me very driven.
Yeah.
And it makes you not waste time, you know.
Yeah.
Because you only have time for 2 things now.
Yeah.
Which is them and here.
Yeah.
Luckily, I live like 3 minutes that way, you know.
OK. Oh, that's good.
Yeah. So it hasn't changed. So and I write in the night time anyway. So
you don't get much sleep?
No.
Just buzz?
Well, you know, I have a great job. I don't really want to sleep very much.
You know, you say, you know, you're writing that, but you inspire so many people with your music. It does. It inspires us. I mean, some of the songs and that, we've all sung your songs. They're amazing. I mean, The Scientists, Fix You, or it can go on and on and on. They're amazing songs.
You could go on about 4 more seconds.
No. Well, where do you find your passion from?
I don't know. Well, first of all, I don't feel that we've done the thing that I feel is great yet. You know what I mean? So we're still looking for that.
Wow.
So I feel like we've done some good stuff, but I think as a band we have a way to go. But maybe we'll never feel like we got there.
Yeah, maybe.
But I hope we will one day, because I'd like to have a holiday.
It's a big call, though. I mean, the albums you've done so far have been amazing.
Good.
Amazing, and we love them.
You're being very sweet, but they're good. In the scale of history, they're good.
Okay.
But we haven't yet joined the kind of Sgt. Pepper's gang.
Okay.
Which is a hard gang to join.
Yeah, well, one of the best rock bands in the world at the moment is you, and you're the lead singer.
I am.
It must be cool.
It is cool. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
I mean, you take a bit of shit, but the pros outweigh the cons.
Yeah.
By quite a margin. And the only thing that, yeah, it is great.
And the lead singer always gets the women, too.
No, that's not true. The bass players always get the women.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do they?
Yep. Are you going to interview John Farnham?
Should I interview John Farnham?
I think you should.
We'll ask him.
Because I want to ask you, what was it like when you played on stage with us?
Ah. You were doing the Monkeys, Daydream Believer?
Yes, sir.
And we're up there, and I said, Chris, what are we doing? And you said, why don't you play the harmonica? And I said, how do I play this? And you said, just blow. So I went, oh, and it was really bad, and we stopped.
People went crazy, though, didn't they?
But you were lovely to me.
All the effort we put in, and you come on and play one bit of shit harmonica and get more of a response. And never do that again.
That was wonderful to be
It was
up on
good,
stage.
wasn't it?
Chris, lastly.
Shane.
I'm going to send you down 6 spinning questions.
OK.
You have to play them well.
This is a cricket sort of game?
Yeah, well, yes, with a twist. And you've got to tell me the first thing that pops into your head.
Mm-hmm.
OK?
Yes, sir. I'm ready. I am ready.
OK. If you could be anyone in the world, who would it be, dead or alive?
Chopin.
Really?
Yeah. Or Barbara Streisand.
OK. What's the best song that's ever been written?
Bittersweet Symphony by The Verve.
Ah, good song, good song. Boxers, briefs or commando?
Depends if I'm boxing or being a commando.
OK.
I'm definitely not going boxing in briefs. You're just asking for a kick in.
If you're home alone, would you cook yourself? Or, well, would you cook yourself? Or...
Porn. Oh, is that not the next option?
Hang on.
Sorry.
Home alone, are you going to cook for yourself?
Yes.
Or take away?
Cereal.
Right. Any special stuff?
I thought this was quick fire.
OK, sorry. OK. No, ambidextrous. You play table tennis with both hands?
Yes, sir.
Is there anything else that becomes handy?
Knitting.
All right, good one. Australia's great because?
Australia's great because why is Australia? Australia's great because everyone acts great, and everything that they do seems to be pretty great, and they always beat everyone at everything. Thank goodness they haven't tried to produce a big soft rock band, otherwise we're f***ed.
Chris, thank you very much for your time.
It's been...
Seriously, I know you're stressed, under the pump, doing all your stuff.
All right.
And I know you don't give too many interviews. Thank you very much for taking the time to let us into your inner sanctum and being
I wish you all the best.
Thank you very much, mate.
Good luck with the hair and the commentary and all that.
Thank you very much.
Whatever your plans are.
Cheers.
Good day
Thanks,
to you.
mate.
Good night.
Yeah, he was great. He's really good, and you can just see, you know, sometimes you don't quite get a real picture of what these people are like. The perception doesn't really equal reality, but he is a beauty. So a big thank you to Chris for allowing us into his private rehearsal and recording studio. It means a lot to me and to the show. And while we're on the thank yous, I'd like to do a big thank you to Etihad, who are the world's best airline. They help us get around to film these interviews. So check out the website and go into one of their planes soon. More on Warnie after this break.
Well, I can't believe this, but what a lot of crap this show is.
Oh, blow it out your ass, Tony Greig. What would you know? Shane Warne only ever does winning programs. Logie, Logie, Logie.
Whenever I come to Australia, everybody talks about that game in 1975 when Jeff Thompson, Tomo, hit me straight in the nuts. I was playing OK for England, but after that tour, I never played again. I was dropped on the controversial 2-testicle rule. What was I wearing for protection? You might remember it if you're my age. It's a pink Lexum. It's a flimsy little piece of plastic with breathe holes in it. It had little holes in it. Why did it have holes in? Because if it's in your kit bag for 6 months at a time, it absolutely stinks. So I've got this in my jockstrap, totally inadequate for the job. Let's get technical. If you're sideways on at cricket, go forward, go back, sideways, you're absolutely fine. I remember that day in 1975, I've lost my sideways position. I'm stood very square on to Tomo, and panic set in and beads of sweat appeared as I just thought to myself, I'm in the wrong position here. And then optimism just takes over. It might hit the bat. Miss the bat completely, it hits me full on, absolutely bullseye. Everything that should have been inside that pink Lexum has found its way through them breathe holes. There were bits and fragments of skin and bone and bollocks and all sorts hanging through, and then the whole thing snapped shut. I'm carted off the field, and of course there's always that announcement, 10 minutes after there's a serious injury, is there a doctor on the ground? Not that day, Western Australia, there was an announcement, is there a welder on the ground? I've got it here, just have a look. He sent it to me about 4 years ago. That's it, the pink Lexum, in 3 bits, courtesy of Tomo. He's a maniac.
He's an absolute cracker, and you can actually understand him too, which is pretty good. Speaking of understanding, my next guest has probably one of the most famous moustaches in the world, and he hasn't grown it just for Movember. He was born with it. Please welcome the King of Bay 13, Mervyn Gregory Hughes. Thanks for being on the show, mate. How are you?
Yeah, great to be here.
Good to be here.
Yes.
Excited about the Ashes tomorrow?
Yeah, just something special about the Ashes. The start of the cricket season is always special, but the Ashes is just super special.
Yeah, it always brings out the best. And it must be a little bit difficult for you, as you were a selector and did a great job, and now you're no longer a selector, so you put a lot of time in, and now the Ashes starts tomorrow and you're not part of it. Yeah, 5.5 years as a selector, so it was a good run. Probably the thing that I enjoyed most was working with the team, and probably the transition in the last 2 years from when all the great players retired from the game, and to see the young blokes coming through and getting the opportunity, and I reckon they're just about right to stamp their names on the game and really have a great Ashes series.
Merv, what about this upcoming series? Some of the young guns you think we should be looking out for, both as far as the Aussies go and also the Palmers?
Well, from Australia's point of view, it's a revamped side. And when I talk young, Mitchell Johnson is still sort of stamping his name. He's been a little bit inconsistent, but if he can come out of the box and do well, Australia will have a very good series. And with Siddle and Hilton House, Xavier Doherty's going to get his opportunity. So that's going to be interesting to see, and probably from mine also to see how Michael Hussey and Marcus North get on. They've been under a fair bit of pressure, so to see how they're going to go in the middle order, and if they go well, Australia will have a very good series.
Beautiful.
Very good. Now, Merv, you've been hitting the streets out there, and we'll get an Australian slant if anyone cares about the Ashes and if they think we're a chance.
Here we are at Flinders Street Station in Melbourne, seeing if people have the Ashes fever. Look at that, good technique. Do they care about the Ashes? Do they think Australia can win? Are we going to get beaten by the English? Sorry about that. 5-test series.
3-2.
3-2?
Yeah, win at each test.
Yeah.
Nice, I don't like draws too much.
Definitely the Poms.
OK, who are going to be the good players in the English team?
Yeah, I'll pass.
What are you doing today?
Survey. Which one caters best for your needs?
MCG.
Most accessible.
MCG. Who's going to win the Ashes? Who's playing? England and Australia.
Ah, Collingwood.
Collingwood.
Most secure and safe.
MCG. Can you give us a Richie?
Good morning and welcome to the Sydney Creek ground for the first day.
Got to be more lippy.
A bit more lippy, hey, Merv.
Easiest to park out.
MCG. I want you to name the 4 best players in the English team.
Strauss.
Yeah. South African.
Oh, yeah.
Most accessible.
MCG. Talk us through the moustache.
Movember. Bit of a charity raiser for prostate cancer.
When's the last time you had a prostate check?
No, 29. I'm not into that right now.
Not
soon.
quite yet.
What's the age?
28.
28. I better get in.
How long is this going to take?
Oh, how long? We'll just go a few more.
Okay.
And overall best venue.
MCG.
Thank you very much.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks.
Listen, need a change of bowling. I've spotted what looks like a young Shane Warne. Warnie, come up here. There you have it, from the heart of Melbourne. A lot of indecision about the Ashes. People just not sure who's going to win. Few on Australia, few on England. But at the end of the day, we just hope it's a ripping Ashes series. Back to you, Warnie, in the studio.
Very good.
I've always wanted to say that. Back to you in the studio.
Well, you still got it. The fans love you, Tom Cruise. I mean, oh, sorry, Merv.
No, that kid did look like you.
He did.
I swear, if you wore glasses when you were 15, you would have been exactly like him.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, thanks, Merv. Well, Merv did a great job for us, but our UK correspondent, Darren Goff, did quite a good job over in Pommyland as well.
Hi, Warnie. I don't know if you recognise this place, but this is the scene of the huge celebrations in 2005, Trafalgar Square, when England absolutely sent Australia packing with their tails firmly between their legs. And I think this is an ideal place to try and get what people in this country are thinking about the current Ashes series leading up to it, because England are by far the favourites to win this series for the first time in a long, long time. So let's go for it.
There's the lion. Where's your kangaroo? It's been at, mate. We've won.
Hear that, Warnie? Where's your kangaroo? Where's your kangaroo? So you actually think Australia are going to beat England, yeah?
I do.
Score?
3-0 whitewash to start with. The rest can just be... England can have the last couple.
I'll tell you what, we'll leave interviewing the Australians because they're all in a dream world. They're back in the 1960s.
I wouldn't say it's in the bag, but it's going to be an interesting series all the way through, I think.
Do you think they should bring Shane Warne back for this series?
Well, I don't know about that. I think he fancy his chances, but I think he's probably had too many pies now, hasn't he?
Should we start it off? Let's get Shane Warne back.
I tell you what, I was just thinking that one of the things we could definitely do, bring Shane. My missus doesn't follow cricket at all, but all she does know about it is, well played, Shane. Well done, Shane. She says, who's this Shane? So every time cricket comes on, she says, good shot, Shane.
And now that's one thing Shane Warne will never get. England playing Australia in the Ashes, and Shane Warne's got his own TV show. You know Shane Warne?
Yeah, from Kath and Kim, right? Yeah, he's cameoed on there, isn't he?
Yeah, what is it?
It's an Australian programme that I watch here. It's quite funny.
Yeah, what's it? Do you know what he looks like?
Yeah, he's always got lippy on.
So we're going to stick it up him, yeah?
We're going to stick it right up, yeah? God bless Australia. Or you're going to get shoved, mate. We're going to shove it right up, yeah?
What do you think the score will be in this great cricket series? Yeah. See, I speak Mickey language because I'm a man of many talents, and Mickey says it's going to be 3-1 to England. Well done, Mickey. And say hello to Donald. Thank you.
Well, there's nothing sure that we're going to be in for a cracker of a series. Thanks very much to Goffy. Thanks, Merv. You going to stick around?
Yes, most definitely.
Well, we've got Alicia's Ashes late mail.
Well, Shane, as you know, the late mail is, of course, all surrounding Michael Clarke's back injury. Now, exclusively to Warnie, Michael agreed to talk to Shane a little bit earlier on today.
Hey, thanks, Pup, for joining us, mate. How's that back coming along?
Hey, mate. Yeah, look, it's going okay. I trained really well yesterday and had another hit today, and it feels much better, to be honest, mate. So obviously I've still got to wait till tomorrow morning, see how I pull up morning of the game Thursday morning, and keep my fingers crossed, buddy. But, well, between you and me, I'm very confident I'll be right for the game.
What about the mood in the camp? How's that travelling?
Mate, the boys are very keen, very excited. There's obviously been a huge build-up from the public's interest, the media interest, and I can guarantee all the boys have been looking forward to this series for a long time. So I seen yesterday on the news that the Barmy Army have all arrived as well, so looking forward to getting a bit of stick this summer. But, mate, we're keen and we're looking forward to getting out there tomorrow morning.
Well, 4 years ago, Australia touched up the Poms 5-0. You reckon that's a chance of happening in this Ashes series as well?
Never say never, mate. You don't know. Like I said, playing in Australia is where we play our best cricket, as we've shown over a long period of time. And I think if we get as many supporters, Australian supporters out there following us and supporting us, and the media right behind us, I think that'll play a huge part, mate. So all the guys are excited. We're keen. Let's see how we go come Thursday morning.
OK, mate. Well, good luck tomorrow. I hope it goes really well. We appreciate you taking the time out in your busy schedule to join us on the show. And we wish you all the best, all of Australia behind you, and we hope you touch up the Poms. Good luck.
Thanks, Warnie. Thanks for your support, mate.
Michael Clark there talking to Shane a little bit earlier on today. Now, Merv and Shane, I'd like to put it to you. Is it a big risk if he plays? Because he could get out there in the middle and his bat could just go. Yeah, it could, but, you know, there's so much on that first Test match, and knowing Michael Clark the way I do, you know, the team will always come first, so he wouldn't want to upset the team balance and things like that. But he'll do anything to play, and he'll be up for it. He's built himself up for this, and I reckon he'll be going. He can't wait to get out there. Yeah, fantastic. All right, let's get the rest of the late mail inside info. And the toss of the coin at the Gabba is vital. Why so vital at the Gabba? Well, it is vital, but it's one of those things where it's probably a good toss to lose for the captains. You think back to Nasser Hussain making that humongous blunder. So I hope you're watching NASA. In 2002, I think it was, when he decided to bowl first when winning the toss, and Australia, we made 400 or something. So it is a good toss to win, but you always want to bat. You know, Ricky hasn't bowled first for 5 years, since Edgbaston, 2005. So I think both teams wouldn't mind losing the toss. Would that be fair?
Yeah, the coin goes up. I think that both captains will be saying, lose the toss, lose the toss. But with Ricky, 9 times out of 10, Ian Chappell's all saying, 9 times out of 10, he wins a toss and bats, and the other time he thinks about bowling and then he bats.
Now, it's also being said that the first session can actually set the tone for the entire series. Would you agree with that, gents?
Oh, yeah. Well, think back to the last Ashes series, Steve Harmison. You know, he didn't even hit the cut stuff.
What a cracker.
Didn't even hit the cut stuff, went straight to Andrew Flintoff to second slip. So that first session in Brisbane is so important to set the tone. OK, thanks very much, Alicia.
Cheers.
Thank you, Merv. Stay with us, guys. More to come after this break. Thank you. Now, one of our great friends of this show is McDonald's, and we've been searching Australia looking for good cricket stories that, with the help of Maccas, we can make great. Here's our first one, and it's a ripper. Shane Dillon is an amazing young cricketer. At just 16 years old, he is showing potential way beyond his years. Playing for Lethbridge Cricket Club in Victoria, Shane came out earlier in the year and smashed 139 not out in the juniors, leading them to their only win of the season. That afternoon, the seniors lost a player due to injury, so asked Shane to step in. Jumping at the chance to prove himself, he then went on to make an incredible 118 not out for the seniors, all on the same day. To make this story even more amazing, Shane was due to go in for ankle surgery 4 days later, meaning that day was his last day of cricket for the season. Shane recovered from his surgery and played his first game in early October, and he did it again. 202 not out for the juniors, so all up, this kid is sitting at over 500 runs not out, which is unbelievable. Now, Shane and I don't just share the same name, our lives seem to be parallel in other ways too. He also shares my love and desire to play AFL football and has just been chosen to represent his state. But I'm hoping cricket will be his calling, like it was mine. What a good young player, and with the help of McDonald's, we would like to make him a great player. Great stuff. How good's that? Now, our other major partner who we love is Nintendo's Donkey Kong. We need you guys at home to get involved. Here's your chance to win $10,000 thanks to the return of a legend. Donkey Kong is back with Donkey Kong Country Returns coming to Wii. All you have to do is nominate your favourite nostalgic moment from two of my favourite decades, the 80s and 90s. We want to know your favourite 80s and 90s moments, so email them to warnie@9.com.au. To kick it off, here are my top 5. Watching Batman after school. Kapow! Watching Biffo in the VFL.
Some heavy work going on in the middle.
Smack him. Listening to one-hit wonders like the Buggles. Video Killed the Radio Star. What a tune. Growing up playing cricket in the summer whilst my other mates were down the beach. Last but not least, haircuts. Go the mullet. So there it is, simple as that. 10,000 bucks could be yours thanks to Donkey Kong Country. In stores from the 2nd of December. Yeah, awesome. It's fantastic to have those great companies as partners of Warnie. We'll see you after this break to say goodnight with a special message from Big Sam Kekovich.
Well, now, what a marvellous show this is. I can't believe it. Warne doing a masterful job here.
Oh, come off it, Tony. You said he was shithouse a moment ago. Gee, fair suck of the old survey figures.
Well, that's nearly it for the first show. Did you all enjoy it? Have fun? Well, I did, so I reckon we might come back and do it all again next week. Thanks to all my guests tonight, and don't forget we move to our regular time of next Thursday at 8:30. Join us, we have Sting, we'll have Danny Minogue, Glennie Robbins, and another classic 12-man sketch. The lovely Alicia Gorey will be here, and the big legend, Merv Gregory Hughes, will be back as well. So thanks so much for joining us. I hope you've had a great time. We'll see you next week. Go the Aussies and keep spinning.
Go the Aussies.
Shane, I'd like to commend you on your opening performance. However, if I may be so bold as to offer you some advice, I suggest before you embark on show number 2, you wait until the pitch takes some spin, if you get my drift. However, I'll do my very best to assist you in escaping management's wrath. How incongruous it is that we have to defend ourselves against the Poms. Is Australia better than England? Of course it is. Consider the following. The Poms have bad teeth, white skin and bad breath. They are so pale they get 30-degree burns under a desk lamp. Their men wear bowler hats and have weedy, bony girl arms. Their sex symbols are David Beckham and Hugh Grant. Men who use a shirt to unscrew a beer cap. Aussies, by comparison, have sun-kissed skin, perfectly straight teeth and gorgeous hair. We are basically Sweden without the sandals. Our sex symbols are Russell Crowe and Hugh Jackman, and modesty precludes me from elaborating further. They are real men who leave the seat up and have chosen the side of the Ford versus Holden debate. So, Shane, in the words of George Bernard Shaw, a life spent making mistakes is more honourable and more useful than a life spent doing nothing. You know it makes sense. I'm Sam Kekovich.
Got him, yes, Tom. Piss off, you're out.